Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode here on Riverbend Springs and FS25. So as you can see, we've got the mowers out today. Hope you're all doing well. We must get the pleasantries out the way first, because I always forget. But no, seriously though, I hope everyone's okay, and I hope you're all having a good day. And things are going the way that you want, hope, or expect. And as I say, that just makes everyone's life go around just a tad bit easier, doesn't it? But yeah, so we've got the mowers out today, as you can see, and we're mowing up ready for some hay. So we're going to be doing hay again this time, and then next time we're going to be doing silage. So we've got quite a bit of silage as it is already, so I thought we'd do hay this time, silage next time, and then what we'll do is we'll then if one comes available, hopefully in the sales department, we will then get a feed mixer wagon, and we'll start to make total mixed rations for the dairy cows. So it's only the buffalo and the Holstein. The beef cows, they can just eat hay. That's no problem. But as I say, that's what they can consume. So hopefully they'll be fine on that. But as I say, the dairy cows, we need to be producing the maximum amount of milk that we can from obviously the Holstein and the buffalo. So they will get total mixed rations. The sheep will get hay or grass, but most probably hay, just because there is more than plenty for the for hay to go round for both the beef stock and the sheep and the goats as well. So, but yeah, so as I say, we'll crack on with this today and try and get this done. Now, the grass itself has still got another growth stage to go, but I have done quite a bit of testing, not today, in terms of just before playing the save, but about a week or two after the game came out. I did loads and loads of testing, and the maximum growth stage and this growth stage, or the maximum harvest stage and this harvest stage, the one before the maximum doesn't produce any less grass than what the maximum one does. So you're not losing grass by cutting it one stage early, is what I'm basically saying. You'll get exactly the same amount of grass off. So don't wait for the grass to be maximum growth stage before you harvest it, or to the maximum harvest state, because you're not actually going to get any more grass for waiting. Just take it now, which is the first time. We've moved into the next month, and now it says the grass is ready to cut. It will grow again one more month, and that will be like its maximum. When in theory, you should get more grass, but you don't. It doesn't matter what stage you harvest. When it's ready to harvest, you get the same amount of grass. That's basically what I'm saying. Whew, I went round the houses there a bit. I think it's always hard when you try and explain something, because you're kind of explaining it and your head's kind of going, yeah, but are you being clear enough? Because I know what you mean. It's like, well, yeah, you know what I mean, because we're the ones that did it, and then it's like, and then you try and over explain it. Essentially, when it says ready to harvest, it doesn't matter which growth stage it says it was ready to harvest. You're going to get the same amount of grass as if you waited until the last ready to harvest stage. It's not going to make no difference. So don't think that you're going to get another 10-50,000 liters extra grass. You're not. You're not going to get any extra. But yeah. But so we're out in this field today. We've got the other field to do. It's pretty much going to be a heyday, I think. We'll get this done, and then we'll see what time we're at and where we're at, and then if there's time, we'll skip over to July and there might be some harvest available. There might not, I don't know. But yes, there is something available in the shop on the sale page, and it's very, very unusual for this to happen. But a combine has become available with the header. I know, it never happens, but the combine and the header have come up in the sale. And we have no... Honestly, why does it just automatically switch off the one that you've... Oh, dear me. Anyway, I'm an adult, stay calm. don't, just chill out, take a breath. It's fine, it's a game, don't worry about it. Honestly, this game, I've been sort of like playing this game now for a little while, so recording the episodes back to back at the moment, and yeah, so I've been on the game now for quite a few hours, and honestly, it's just driving me nuts, this game. It's like, why is that doing that? Why is that like that? Why does my grass disappear and then suddenly reappear? And honestly, anyway, this isn't a rant video, so we're not going to do that. We're going to play nice. If you can't play nice, children, don't play at all. But yes, so you know, it's get this done, get the hay in. I've been and checked the sheep, so I'll show you them when we get going. So I'm going to cut this grass, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the next grass. I'm going to then switch it to a worker, let them cut that grass, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to ted it, and then we'll rake it, and then we'll bale it as well. But yeah, so as I was saying before the game rudely interrupted again, there is a combine and a header available in the shop that does look pretty darn sweet, and I'd really like to buy it just because I haven't used the combine before, and it's kind of what it's the combine that this game was basically sold upon, and I'll show you it all now just so that you know, the suspense doesn't kill you. Where is it? Da, da, da. And the header came available. Oh, actually, yeah, the header came available as well, which is unbelievably unusual. But yeah, so on a more serious note, the things that I would like, I mean, that would be quite handy too, because we could get our spraying done very quickly with that. But again, it's just a little bit too rich for us at the moment, as is the combine. The combine's a little bit too rich for us at the moment as well. But this I might well be buying. You know, this would be a very good purchase. So 18,000 square meter capacity. I think turns out to be 18,000 litres. I don't know why just say that. 15 metre working width. As I say, that may well be something that we do look into, because we're going to need a slurry tanker, and that, as I say, that may well be just the thing that we're looking for. Obviously you would like one of the really big ones because that's cool, isn't it? But we don't have the cows and we're not producing the slurry, so you know, we've no real need, you know, to go for that. So at this stage in the proceedings, we're you know, we'll be more than sufficient to have that one. But anyway, I'm going to go up and down now because I've got one more headland than what I should have done anyway. But as I've said before, I do like to keep a relatively big headland just because it does help with turning, you know, so, and figuring out the GPS. Which is good. I'll tell you what this GPS really is good for. Veg planting. If you don't want to plant a headland with a veg because of the multi-terrain angle is just blooming awful, so you know, I would strongly advise just don't bother planting a headland. But it's really good because obviously you get the line for the headland, so you work out how wide your planting machine is, work out how big you want to leave your headland, and then just keep planting up to the line and turning around and then going back again. So you do all the middle of the field from one side to the other, but you just leave the headlands, and it's been left at the desired gap that you wanted to leave it. Honestly, it's absolutely fantastic for that. It's blooming brilliant for that. But everything else, it's not that great. But for veg planting, taties, carrots, red beets, parsnips, stuff like that, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, can't recommend it enough. But as I say, otherwise, just sort of, I can't wait until maybe Whoopster or someone, brings out their own GPS mod, and we can sort of go over to that one, because this one, it's okay. I mean, essentially, it's courseplay, isn't it? It's courseplay done badly. That's essentially what this is. Yeah. So as I say, it's not the best. I don't think, anyway. You only have to look at the previous episode with the ploughing. Where in God's name was any of that straight? And I was using GPS, and the whole point of GPS is to keep it in a straight line. The biggest problem is these fields have invisible collisions in them, so it's really, really hard, because what happens is the player catches an invisible collision, throws it up in the air, and then you're just kind of like, oh, there's a bend, oh well, there's another one. It's just like, and some fields are way worse than others. So yeah, things to be aware of if you do decide that you want to buy this game, if you haven't done already, which, if I wasn't a content creator, I probably would have asked Giants for my money back, because the shop was virtually empty. The game really didn't look that great from the get-go. It didn't really work that great from the get-go, and still there's a lot of things that are just not right about it. But anyway, we'll persevere. And it's a shame, because actually when all of that stuff doesn't come into play, and you just get sometimes you just get a nice game session, and you think, oh, that's a really good game, actually. It's really nice. There's some really nice touches and features in it. Yeah, I'm all right with it, but then you get what I've had sort of since I've loaded it up first thing this morning, and it's just been one thing after another, and I just think, and everyone that I speak to, who I know personally, who live in and around me, and I say to them, are you playing the new game? Nah. Bought it, played it for about 2 hours, and I've played FS22 ever since. And that's the overriding theme that I'm getting. I mean, like I say, I said it in the last episode, and I'll say it again in this one, apart from when I'm recording episodes on FS25, I play FS22. There's just no comparison. And it's not down to just there's not enough mod maps for it to be interesting. It's not. As I say, FS22 and FS19 out of the box, they had me. Like, I could play the maps that came with the game, absolutely fine. Fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Brilliant. Just didn't get that with FS25. Just sort of loaded it in, and just, I don't know, from minute one, it was, no, this isn't right, that isn't right, and it's not personal things either. It's fundamental basics of a game of this type that needs to be working from the get-go, but anyway, like I say, this isn't going to be a rant video, even though I've ranted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to a little bit of time lapse and go chill me beans, and I'll be back in a little bit where we'll actually talk about what's going on in the save and where we need to be going hereafter. Okay. Bye for now. So busy is the key to the day. We're getting through the grass quite nicely. And as I say, this will all go towards feed the total mixed rations for the dairy cows. So you know, we sort of don't need to worry too much about not having enough. I'm just beginning to wonder whether, because I'm getting more from this than what I thought I would. I got more silage off that little tiny bit as well that I thought I was going to. I thought at best I'm going to get 2 bales off there, and I think we ended up with about 4 or 5, didn't we? You know, so that was really good. But yeah, it's. I'm beginning to wonder whether not only will we have enough for our total mixed rations, but we'll also have enough to feed the sheep with and the beef stock that we've got. So pleasantly very surprised, because as I say, I didn't expect to get as much as this off our fields. So our fields. So that last one, if it does half as good as this, we'll be well in. As I say, it's going to be a good result for us. There's something about baling that I just really like. I find it's a very relaxing job. Right, he has finished, so we'll move him on now. If we can get him to drive himself to the next field. Start the engine. Fold that up. Click here. Oh well. Click here, and then we'll get him to drive to the next field, and then he can right, create job, click vehicle, which is that one, and then create job, field work, yep, which is that one. Starting from that corner, go whichever way you want, really. I don't really care. Do it however you want, my friend. And as I say, we'll get him off, and then by the time we get there, you see, because I'll be able to speed up a little bit now, but by the time we get there, he'll be well into the field again, and we'll be able to carry on. Is he going to go or not? Because it did say he was driving to the field. Oh well, we'll do a round, see what happens. Yep, there he goes. Good old boy. Or girl, of course. So yeah, they'll go off to the field and get set up and get going themselves. And as I say, we'll then get this one completed, and we'll not be too far behind, which is good. As I say, we need to get some feed. Winter is fast approaching, and at the moment we're woefully short. I would like to. I think the 420,000 that we've got at the moment. Yes, the farm build is, you know, something that I do want to get finished, but at the same time, you know, we do have animals now, so we do need to make sure our main priority is that they do have feed and food. So I think another grass field or 2 grass fields, if we can manage it, wouldn't go amiss. And I'm going to just buy designated grass fields that the game has kind of started with, rather than taking arable fields and then planting them with grass and then losing them as arable fields. If we can just use what's here for grass, then already that'll be more than enough, because as I say, for some reason on this particular version of the game you can just harvest grass all year round, and whilst that's not grand, I'm also at the same time not complaining, because it means I can't run out of feed. Whereas on FS22 I'm currently at the moment sort of building myself my dream dairy, and I got to, so I the first one I did, I had started again because I wasn't happy with it, but I got to the end of I got to October, and stupidly sort of thought, oh, it just grows all year round. I don't need to harvest it yet. Of course, it got to the end of October and I was busy with other stuff, and eventually came around to right, I must get that grass cut. It was November, I think it was November, December time. I thought I must get that grass cut because we're running out of feed, and FS22 doesn't allow you to cut grass in the winter months, which you shouldn't be able to. Now, whether it allows you on this map because of where the map is based, and maybe where this map is based in America, maybe you can harvest grass all year round. I don't know. I mean, it might not be necessarily it could just be they're trying to keep it real to where it's based, and that's fair enough. That's absolutely fine, and that's fair enough. Like I say, I don't know, so I certainly wouldn't criticise and and say it isn't when I don't know. But yeah, so on FS22 that caught me out. So I ended up having to go to the shop and buying my feed for the year, and that's not good because they are blooming expensive. So the sort of the first year we barely made a profit anyway because you're putting buildings down and this, that, and everything. Well, we didn't make a profit, and then I had to spend then more money on bales. Not only straw bales but also grass and silage bales. Yeah, I wasn't impressed. But there we go. As I say, there wasn't much I could do about it, unfortunately. But as I say, that save, and not for that reason either. I don't mind stuff like that. That's realistic. If you haven't got enough food, you have to go off and buy it, and because someone knows you need it, they're going to charge you a lot of money for it, and that's fair enough. So that wasn't the reason why I started again. Where I am sort of kind of the map that I had the dairy on, that I'm building my dream dairy on. I didn't quite get it right. It was a bit awkward and it was a bit too cumbersome, the yard. It was stuff was in the way of stuff, and it just didn't have a nice flow to it. And so I sort of thought, well, I think it was Sunday. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was sort of sat at my desk, and I had the afternoon off from recording, and I was thinking, right, I'm going to sit and do that. I've got nothing spoiling. I've got nothing that I need to rush around for. All my videos for this week are up on YouTube. They're all ready to go. It's fine. I've got time. Sit down and do it. And I sat down and did it, and yeah, did a much better job. Very happy with it. And as I say, it's we will go on. But what I will do is on the and I've already decided this isn't just kind of all flash of inspirations popped into my head. I'd already decided that if I did start again, which I knew I was going to, and I got to the point where I was happy with it, obviously I'll add to it or create another dairy. And if I got to the point where I was happy with it, I wasn't going to make no bales and learn from my mistakes. I was going to still have to buy the bales for the first year because that's what originally I was having to do on the original one because I didn't make the food. So it's not a case of like now, ha ha ha, everything's worked out fine. It hasn't. I've still got to buy the bales. So I've sort of kept that side of it and just redone the dairy farm. And it looks, as I say, it looks pretty good. Sort of practicing my sort of farm build. So I've built the dairy. Now I've got to build the actual arable side of the business. And I'm thinking about sort of having like it being a really, really British sort of theme. And so therefore, instead of having silo bins, we're going to have grain stores. And the grain stores obviously tip grain in, and then you have to then shovel it out with the telehandlers, load the lorries, just as we do in this country. I mean, many a winter, on sort of really cold, bright days, that were really frosty, I would spend many a winter day, on the teleporter, whichever one it was that was available. So we had two class telehandlers, we had two JCBs, two Merlots, and one vent, and that was across the whole business. And just be one day, you'd go to work and your boss would say, right, I want you loading grain today. Fine, no problem. And then it would be a case of ringing him up. Well, there's no telehandlers here. Well, you'll have to get in the truck and go off and find one. and literally you would then drive. Sometimes you would get lucky, and you would sort of go to the first farm, and there would be one there, but you know, a lot of the times it was driving between farms trying to find one. And the telehandlers were assigned to an area, so they were supposed to stay within the area that they were assigned to. So, like for our Long Sutton Bridge farms, um, and there was another farm. I forget the place of it on the way to Kings Lynn, and so like the two JCBs were meant to stay there. But invariably you'd find one had moved somehow to the Whiz Beach farm, or somewhere. Like you just sort of think, why? But yeah, that was what happened. So as I say, so that farm's going. I'm going for a very sort of traditional English feel. I am going to have, well, instead of having silos, I'm going to have dryers. And then so you tip them in, it dries it, and then the unloading auger will unload it into the trailers, and then they will then tip into the grain sheds once the grain is dry. So it's try and keep it as really close to spot on real life as I can. And yeah, it's going all right. I say I'm just about finished my first harvest now in the restart version, and I've got obviously some straw baling to do because I did do that originally, but I didn't get many straw bales off the same field, so I'm going to get the same amount now. So again, I'm not going to have no advantage from that. So, but yeah, I say it's really good. Like it's I do kind of like doing stuff like that. Where I sort of I've always with FS, from sort of 17 onwards, I've always wanted to do a really big dairy, really big dairy save. And originally this was going to be like my big dairy save, and it was just going to be no combines, no, sort of anything like that, just dairy orientated. But I, as always, get playing, and I'm like, yeah, but we could grow veg, we could grow onions, we could grow potatoes, we could grow carrots, red beets, parsnips, sugar beets. We could do all of that as well, because the dairy's not going to keep us busy flat out all year round. Which in real life it would do, but on Farming Sim 20, on Farming Sim just as a whole, it doesn't. A dairy doesn't keep it unless you've got thousands of cows, which I haven't. So, as I say, but yeah, so I'm sort of going around the map and finding areas and thinking, and I found one area and I thought, oh, this would be ideal for the farm. And then as I was building it, my brain was going, dairy, this is a dairy. So that's what I ended up putting there. But anyway, so I'm going to flip over to a little bit more time lapse, and I'm going to get the rest of this done. And then when we get back from the time lapse, we'll go around, collect up, have a bit of a chat, a bit of a recap, and then, as I say, that will be the end of this episode, because my computer is running out of memory, and I sort of made a New Year's resolution that when that happened I wouldn't sort of say it in the videos, but whatever. But I don't want anyone to think that I'm sort of cutting the video short because of for any other reason other than my computer is saying, look, we're running low on memory again. And what I don't want to happen is I don't want the recorder to my I don't want my screen capture to just stop recording, me not realise, and then by the time I've realised, and then I get memory back on my computer, say, well, I'm really sorry, but I'd virtually done all the baling, so you've missed it. That's what I don't want to happen. So as I say, I'll try and get the baling done, and then I'll jump on a tractor with the bale collector. We'll go around, collect some bales, and then while we're doing that, I'll sort of end the episode there, and then just off screen, off camera, I'll just finish collecting the bales. As I say, but hopefully that's okay with everyone. But it's just because at this moment in time I am running very low on RAM memory, which is where my videos went recorded. So my Xbox game bar that I've got on my PC that does my screen recording for me. It just sends it straight to my RAM, and it's my RAM that's running low. I've tried to redivert it to my SSD card, but that doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work, but it just still puts it in the same file, even though I've told it to. So I'm clearly, but I'm not very good with computers, and I'm clearly doing something wrong. But anyway, I'm going to shut up before I bore you all to death, and I'll see you back in a little while. So bye for now. Can you believe it? I was thinking while I was baling that field of hay, I was thinking, oh yeah, we did a baling contract, didn't we, where we did some straw, and I'm thinking, I know they're square bales, but I thought that would still come in pretty handy for our farm. We'd still be able to bed the cows up with that, I was thinking, oh, we've got the straw blower, we just chuck them in there. And guess what? For some reason, it didn't save the bales. I cannot believe my luck sometimes, honestly. Yeah, actually, we'll be better off going this way. So you really shouldn't change your mind at the last minute when you've got massive, great big spikes on the front of your machine. Someone's likely to get impaled. But yeah, so we'll get back, and then as I say, I am going to have to end the episode there because I am unfortunately beginning to run out of memory. I keep getting the warning coming up at the bottom of the screen. Thankfully, my screen capture doesn't capture it, so it doesn't seem to matter too much. But as I say, in some ways, I wish it did really, because then you would be able to see that I'm sort of genuine in sort of what I'm saying. But until I can get the new computer, this unfortunately is the way that I've been doing it. And most of the time I'm able to kind of, because I always check before I start a video have I got enough memory to do the video, and I did check today, but I obviously underestimated how much I actually had, because as I say, it keeps flashing up. So I'm probably going to be another day or so now before the computer will then just decide to give me it back again, and then I can carry on again, because I won't now have the bloody memory to convert these into videos. So honestly, it would just make my life so much easier if I could win the lottery, buy my new computer, just not worry about any of that stuff anymore. It's just like, yeah, today we're going to record 10 videos, each one's going to be 20 hours long, no problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that would be an absolute dream position to be in. But anyway, it is what it is. I can't really do much about it, like I say, until I saved the money, you know, for my new computer. But yeah, so it's that's just the way it is. Some things never change. I'm not returning to the singing farmer days, dear me. I can't believe I used to do that. If you've not seen it, and you want a good laugh, you're feeling a bit down, and you want a really good laugh, go watch the first probably 5, 6, 7 videos that I put out. The singing farmer. Dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What was I thinking? But anyway, right, just for now, we'll leave that here. And as I say, we'll grab hold of the old Mackie Cormoric, and we will get those bales done. I'll do the silage ones with you because I should be able to get them done. But yeah, it's been a busy old episode again. I'll tell you, the last few episodes have been really busy episodes where we've done, you know, a good lot of stuff. Ooh. It's an awkward reversing turn, this one. But anyway, we'll get these. I couldn't believe how much silage we got off it. So we get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bales. That's pretty good, that. I've seen something. Oh, it is something. It's a little lamb. Ha! Looks like he's struggling to stand. Yeah, that's what I thought, mate. You alright? Oh, he's plonked down there. That's it. You have a rest. You could get lost in the field. That I can't believe how big I've made that sheep pen and goat pen. Oh well, at least we'll get plenty of wool and we'll get plenty of milk. And there is actually, when we get up there, I'll show you actually. So I wondered how it was going to do it because obviously sheep and goats in the same pen. I thought probably far. Oh, this is what I mean about the invisible collisions in fields. Look, and all it is that's caught on something. Honestly, and the thing is, it's not just isolated. That's every field that you go into with certain machines that you catch invisible collisions. Honestly, it's an absolute, well, disgrace. Quite frankly, yes, I'm feeling in the mood for a strong word. But anyway, we'll just get this one, and then I'll get out and we'll have a walk over. Look. So I did wonder where it was going to do it with having wool and goat's milk or goats in there as well, but that's how it's going to do it. It's basically just going to do a pallet of that, and hopefully they will just keep filling. I'm hoping they don't have 4 great big urns or churns like that for 10 litres. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's not really cricket, as I say. That isn't. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, so anyway, we'll go and get these emptied. Go and get these bale or this trailer emptied. We can mix the bales, but because they're in separate sheds, I don't want to mix the bales because we could then go and get a load of hay bales. But like I say, I don't want to mix the bales up because they're going in their own sheds, and the only reason they're going in their own sheds and I'm not mixing them in the shed is I can then see how much I've got quite clearly then, and there's sort of kind of in a way no excuse, but you know, if I run out sort of thing. But that's why I'm doing it that way. But we'll get these in here and then we'll pick up these hay bales here, and we should be okay then. Got quite a lot on that field again as well, so that's probably a trailer and a half full, which is good. 2 trailers if I include these. That New Holland obviously crashed into a bale, hence the reason why it was bringing up all kinds of messages while I was baling that other field. Let's have a look. Did it? Well, I can't see one in there. Can't see one in there. Don't know what it was complaining about. Anyway, we'll get this over here, and then well, I say we'll just pick these few boughs up, and then we'll call that one it for this episode. We need to do some more trees as well, because I've noticed that the sawmill is getting out of wood. So we need to do that as well. We've got a few straw bales in there, which is good, but we've also got quite a bit of, so we've got those 3 fields there of oats, and then we've got 2 fields of wheat. Get my bearings, James, out there somewhere. Got 2 fields of wheat out there, so we should have hopefully by far and away enough straw. As I say, hopefully now we've got enough hay for the total mixed ration. That's the hope and the plan, anyway. If I haven't, we're going to be busy with the mower again. Gonna have to go at that from the other way, because I ain't going to get the tractor in there. But yeah, so as I say, hopefully everyone's enjoyed it. I am going to have to leave it there, because as I say, I've got 1.5 gigabyte left, and that's not very much when in terms of video, so I am going to have to leave the episode here. Hope you've all really enjoyed it. I apologise that, as I say, we've had to cut it a little bit shorter than what I really wanted to. I wanted to get up to the point where we were ready to sort of get to the next day to go harvesting. So the next episode will be a harvest episode. I wanted to get the harvesting started in this episode and then finished in the next one, but as I say, I'm just not going to be able to do that. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel. It really does help me, helps the channel grow, helps me grow. It just helps all round, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks ever so much for watching this episode on Riverbend Springs, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.